Welcome back to the Last Shot Show. We didn't know where we were going in our second segment. Welcome to the second segment. We're just going to keep going in college basketball in general. We're going to just kind of leave the whole high school to the NBA, how many years in college issue, and just talk about 2012, 2013, what's going on, which teams are the best, who might go to the Final Four, things of that nature. Matt.
Yeah.
This season.
Yep.
First of all, who are the four best teams?
Mm-hmm.
And then who are teams outside of the four best that could get to the Final Four?
That could get to the Final Four. I think, obviously, I think one of the best teams in America right now is, and I hate to say even though they've lost key games, is Illinois. You have Cody Zeller, who...
Key games? They've lost like a dozen games.
They have lost like half a dozen.
You mean Indiana, not Illinois.
Oh, sorry, Indiana. I'm sorry.
There you go.
They have...
Oh, not Illinois.
Yeah.
Even though they have some great wins.
What?
Well, Illinois has beaten Indiana and Gonzaga.
Yeah, so
there you have it.
I think they're in the tournament by those two wins.
We'll see. They've got like 12 losses though. But back to Indiana.
Anyway,
your four best teams. Indiana
because they have Cody Zeller and they have weapons on the outside, and they can take a game over. So you have Indiana, who I think will be they will be a #1 seed, but I don't think
they're not a one. Well, they are a one.
They're
seed
one
right
seed,
now.
but I don't think they're overall #1. I think they're like fourth or third or fourth.
Next three teams then.
I think Duke will be #2, as in the #2 overall. And this is gonna.
This isn't rankings. This is just your four best teams.
This is my four best teams.
Yeah.
This is gonna make you happy.
Yeah.
In Gonzaga, they are a top team, and
they are.
I have to admit that Gonzaga, you've made me a believer out of. I
haven't made you a believer. They have made you a believer.
They can take a game over in their up-tempo offense,
which they didn't do.
Which they did not do against BYU.
That I'm mad about that because BYU did expose them because they should have run the fast break more. That's my whole thing. But go
all day, every day.
Yeah.
And I think like my bubble team that's like kind of in but kind of not, depending on how
the team that could get to the Final Four.
That could get to the. I'm not saying these are my Final Four teams. These are my #1 seeds.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
I didn't
specify this. That's okay.
I think that my fourth bubble team is Miami of Florida. I think they're ranked 5th right now, and depending how they play against Duke tomorrow.
Hopefully this video will be up before then.
Yeah, this is probably. Okay.
Man, that was a great Miami
Duke game.
When that guy won.
Yeah, that team that we place here, if it is not posted on in
that blowout close fashion.
Anyway, I think Miami and Florida could be in. I think that who's like 7th now.
Anybody.
and it really falls apart to every other team afterwards because I thought at the beginning of the season that Louisville was going to be something great, and they're now 12th.
I like Louisville a lot. I still like Louisville.
I think Louisville will be a good 2 or 3 seed.
I think they're a very strong team this year. They're just not playing well in conference.
Yeah.
Georgetown's kind of just creeping in right now without anyone looking. They're watching everyone die, and then they're just coming in for that 1 seed because they're beating everyone in the Big East.
All right, here's who I think will be the Final Four. Duke.
Depending on the seeding.
Depending on the seeding. Duke, Indiana, other 2 teams, I don't know.
Okay, that's fine.
Because
it's confusing right now.
Such a normally around this time we would know who's the top 4 or 5 teams.
Everyone knew Kentucky was the best team last year.
And then now they suck because of their star player being out for the rest of the season.
They were terrible before he got injured.
Okay, but they were more cohesive when he was there.
Okay, all right.
I'm completely baffled by college basketball. It does not make sense.
I don't think
Michigan State,
It doesn't make sense because you have Penn State beating Michigan. Penn State was winless in the Big Ten. I just think Michigan just didn't care about that game, but that's a whole other thing. Here's the way I see it going. This is, I guess, our pre-bracket. This is what we'll call it, pre-bracket analysis. We'll come back in 3 weeks to the actual bracket. We'll break it down 4 segments for each bracket. That'll be a good show.
That'll be
3 weeks.
3 weeks, we're going to break down each bracket, and if you're watching this during the tournament, you can
we'll have something to talk about.
Well, you can click on the link that goes right here.
Yeah, that one.
You know what? I'm going to move that link that was right here and put it on the smiley ball. Let's see how classy I can do this.
Anywho, here's how I see the tournament going right now.
Yep.
Things are confusing now.
Yeah.
But once things metaphorically get through the meat grinder, things will be figured out in the tournament.
Yeah.
I think the teams I see that can legitimately win a national championship, I like obviously Indiana because they got Zeller, Oladipo, and he who can out-athlete anybody in college basketball. They have the potential to run the table, obviously, but they have a lot of weakness. Every team has
a lot of weakness. For Cody Zeller, it's the back door.
in Indiana, obviously a strong team. Michigan is young, but if they get hot, unstoppable. Just absolutely. If they get on fire, they're probably the best team in basketball. Even though I lost to Penn State, I don't think that matters come tournament time. It's all wiped away. It's all wiped away when you get to the tournament.
I mean, they went from a possible 3-4 seed to a possible 6-7 seed.
Who? Wait.
Michigan.
Michigan? No, they're going to be a 2 or a 3. 2 or 3. Easily. I mean, I'm a little biased when I say Gonzaga, but the thing that scares me, like, take Prince Volleyball's bias. We'll take that side. Gonzaga, I think they have the most cohesive, the most talented team, and I say team as in most depth, keep a player at every position. But the thing is, though, they can be. I know this team. I've seen every game that's been televised of them. They can be rattled.
Yeah.
They can play. The issue with Gonzaga over the past decade and why they haven't made that Final Four run is because when they get frazzled, they don't really know how to fight out.
They don't know, and they don't know how to close.
I'm definitely afraid that if they get the 1 seed, which if they beat Portland and win the WCC tournament, they will get a 1 seed, and maybe the #1 overall seed, is that they could be set up to be the first team to lose to a 16 seed, because if that's a close game at halftime, Gonzaga's come out in the second half and play scared. I mean, they have had tough matchups where they've beaten Oklahoma State in Oklahoma State, they've beaten Kansas State in the battle in Seattle. I mean, they just beat BYU, and BYU, which is not easy, even though BYU outsmarted them with that box-and-one zone. Gonzaga, you need to play fast break basketball. That's your strength. Just run up and down the court. Play Phoenix Suns 2007 basketball. You're fine. Gonzaga, if they don't play frazzled and they play like they're the king of the mountain, they're going to make the Final Four. If they think they're the best team walking out on the court and they have that bravado, they're gonna do great things in the tournament. But if a team punches them, I don't know if they can punch back. I mean, they punched BYU back, but BYU ain't making the tournament.
No.
So
I think BYU could make the tournament, and here's how.
Well, they got to win the WCC.
They have to win the WCC tournament.
They're going to play Gonzaga in the semifinal from how the bracket's shaping up in the WCC.
Sure. But I think that if they won't,
BYU does have a lot of losses.
They have
8 or 9 losses, something like that.
I mean, but last year there was like a 12-loss team in the tournament.
Well, that happens every year. Like teams like Illinois.
I think that BYU will make it into the tournament, into the playing games. I don't think they'll make it an outright seed. They'll make it into the playing games for the 16th seed. I
think the better argument is for St. Mary's make the tournament.
Oh,
St.
Mary's. I think
they're huge. They haven't beaten anybody though, except obviously your favorite team, Creighton.
You make one joke about Creighton.
Creighton's not making it. They win the Missouri Valley tournament, but St. Mary's has not beat a quality team all season.
You know what team I think could make a big stink in the tournament?
Stink?
Oregon.
Stink is good or bad?
A good thing.
Okay.
That could cause a lot of noise in the tournament. Oregon.
Oregon? Here.
I watched them play, and they. I mean, they might be the only. They're not consistent. I know, and they play in the SEC, Pac-12. Sorry. Oh wow. I know, but like. They could make a big move in there. I saw Alabama. Alabama is probably one of the...
You can't defend an SEC team.
You really can't, but they will make it in the last 4 that are in.
Here's...
Alabama might make it.
You brought up Miami.
Right. Florida.
Everyone knows who we're talking about.
Of Florida.
Miami...
Of Florida.
I see Miami... I know I defend them as having seniors.
Yeah.
They're not ready for the stage. I think they're going to pull Denny Green. They are who we thought they were at the beginning of the season. They are going to be Missouri of last year.
Yeah.
They're Missouri. Missouri written all over them.
John and I had a competition last year.
And I knew Missouri was going to lose.
And who would have the better bracket?
I picked that
bracket. And after the Missouri game...
Norfolk State, baby.
We both had identical brackets leading... after the...
Going into the Elite.
We were tied.
We were tied.
And then... Stinking Missouri State gets beaten by stinking Norfolk
That was
State.
the deciding
That was
factor.
because if that game
I
went
knew
my
Missouri was a
way,
fraud. In
I
Miami,
would have
you were a
won the
fraud
entire
too.
thing, and I went and lost by 1
You lost by
point.
1 point, and I want a pizza. Anywho,
So
that's my.
we're gonna do that again this year.
Of course, and we should involve this show somehow too. When we
Yeah.
we'll figure that out later.
We'll figure it out. We'll probably like after every week we'll like have a little counter of how many points we have.
I don't care if the buzzer went off. I'm finishing my thought.
Quick.
Miami's a fraud.
Yep. Florida.
I think Indiana, Duke, Gonzaga, Michigan are the 4 best teams, and the team that is going to make a Sweet 16 Elite 8 run that no one has even mentioned, Akron. Watch for Akron.
Watch out for Akron. All right, go ahead.
Akron.
Close the show there, buddy.
Well, that's our argument on college basketball. It makes no sense right
No, it
now.
doesn't.
The top 10 is a revolving door.
Yes,
and
it
but
is.
Gonzaga's going to be number 1. Just beat Portland. Don't pull a Michigan, Penn State. I just want to thank you for watching. Let us know what you think of who you think is going to be in the Final Four, or who your bracket buster is. Things of that nature.
Who's your VCU, basically?
VCU, Butler, Gonzaga, George Mason, whoever. Gonzaga,
George Mason.
Whatever. But
I did this with my brackets.
no one picked George. I have a friend that said he picked George Mason to make the Final Four. I still think he's full of it. Still full of it, Brandon Heimer. Coming up next is Leftovers. And St. Mary's will be another black bus, so we can make it. It's another random thought. Leftovers is next. I really don't know what I'm going to talk about. Tune in to find out.